in near
simulated lumpy bumpy earther.
no Facebook stuff, man. Come on, dude. Facebook is a dying community of shills and gatekeepers and sheeple. It's good for family. And bots, so many bots, man.
And even
so many bots.
Competition. That's what frustrates me about Facebook. And this is why the execs don't use it. I'm sorry. We're done talking about it.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Hello. How is it in Israel?
Israel.
How is it?
Hot.
Israel.
It's hot today, and summertime in Israel. It's,
How hot? How hot is it? How hot do you think it is?
It's about like Celsius. It's about 35 degrees, something like that.
Whoa, whoa! Be careful, man. Be careful. Oh my God. Oh my God! Listen.
That's
listen,
nice.
Listen.
That's a nice day.
No. This is really important, man. You all need to be careful because once it gets to 37 degrees, it's dangerous and it's causing blood clots. It's causing blood clots.
Yeah.
Right? According to the UK news, they've put out a nationwide warning. 37 degrees today. Oh my God! And it's causing blood clots, apparently.
Yeah, like and also like here in Israel, you can see people swearing on their life of their children that this year it's been way hotter than last year. They're sure about it. Anyway, global warming agenda over here, it's hilarious. But I'm here to talk to you about several other things that happens over here. You asked me earlier about how's it going in Israel. I will tell you, like, really dramatically, that the last 2 weeks has been lately the end of days, let's say it like that, with the feeling of lots of people. It seems that like me and all my friends have been gone through all kinds of, like, in the last 2 weeks, months, something like that, waves of emotional waves backed by all kinds of, like, real things that happen in reality. And it's like the events are running way faster than time is. Okay, like lots of events that should have been efficient for, like, a whole year are like being danced into 1 month, and it's crazy.
The last week, just in 1 week, how much stuff has happened is
well,
like,
I mean,
they have to keep this as well. It's keeping a confused state. So whatever emotions, just so long as they're going, because it is still a matter of grasping for something, grasping for the solution.
And then once they're boiling, once those emotions are boiling, it doesn't take much to keep them in that state. Once you get people into that state of anxiety,
give them something else to worry about.
Now, for me personally, like, I noticed that everyone is getting those waves by a very distinct factor in his personal personality. Okay, meaning like the thing which is, like, most important for, like, a certain person. This is where he gets those waves at. For instance, like a big conspiracy friend of mine, so he's been noticing, like, this worldwide event that they are happening really critically and really in a dense period of time. And for me personally, I'm like usually being involved with media, and like over the last 2 weeks, first of all, I had like a real critical feud with lots of flat earther friends that I had with in a WhatsApp group, and I dismissed all of them. And then I had the close friend that died suddenly, and then I had some kind of like a relationship thing that had me occupied, and then happened this thing that Richie talked to you about earlier, this thing with Facebook, that instantly I lost, like, I don't know, 3,000-4,000 people that I'm like friends with him on Facebook, whatever. So anyway, it's kind of like yes.
Put it into perspective, though, Ned.
Yeah.
Like these 3,500 group members that you were, they were group members, right? They weren't friends. They were
No, they
they
were
were
like my
people that they
personal,
were
like,
but they were associated. Like, did you speak to every single one of them every day? Like, you had
no.
in-person interactions
I
with them.
Yeah, I will tell about the Facebook Lie afterwards. Okay, the one the whole concept of us of like for me, I'm like living without Facebook for about I don't know 3-4 days or so, and it's feeling very very liberated and very
Less
feeling of
anxious,
like
less
like
anxiety.
going into
I
exactly
mean, we
yeah
see
maybe
these things as good
perhaps
things on
let's
hindsight. So going through it, we come in with that, oh my God, I've lost whatever. But then afterwards, oh, that was good for me.
yeah exactly
Why
and
can't
this
we
is all
see? Why can't we go into everything that comes as, okay, this is happening now. I wonder
Well,
why.
yeah
we've been programmed or conditioned to expect bad things from change, not good
oh
things.
To go with that emotion too, where it's like, no, let me see what's happening. I have to stand back to see what's happening, and you'll get way more about what is actually happening in the time. This makes me want to do this. This is making me want to do this. You know, we see those things that are directed at us to make a choice and stuff as well, and we always want to be in that place of, I want all my options. You know, so any choices I'm making is to keep my options open to allow all the choice that I have.
And
So it's those triggers. It's the same thing. It's like, and of course it always happens. Like the saying is, when it rains, it storms. So when this is happening, we get tested with all of these things at the same time. But that's us caught in this mind frame. So it's still bringing ourselves back to that more alpha, that relaxed state of being, to look at it from afar and go, what is actually happening here? Not what
being the observer, actually being the noticer.
and every
Staying
storm has got a rain.
Yeah.
So
in these ways, you see those opportunities. Like, yes, I do feel better losing this Facebook channel, right? And if I set something else up, who's going to be the people that seek me out? Who's going to be the people that come from there to actually find me? They're the quality people. They're actually the people I want to be communicating with. So my group has now gotten smaller, but more efficient, more effective, more real, right? And these are the people that will share your stuff, that will spread messages and this sort of stuff too, because they're actively engaged, you know.
Yes.
So you see it as that as well. This is a moment where I can clean house.
Yes, I think the real major lie of Facebook, I think it's that it pretends that you have like friends or like group or something like that.
Yeah.
And in reality, it's not like that. Okay, they're not real friends.
And it becomes all about
how many bots.
It becomes all about quantity as well. It's like, oh, I've got 2,900 friends on Facebook. Do you?
Yeah,
How many of them have you met
of course,
in person?
Numbers are the tool of the devil in that aspect. And for me personally, from all the reasons that you mentioned, I wasn't critically, sad or depressed or like, although like on Facebook, I had like work for about 3 or 4 years of intense work with like online shows and lots of material. But
and you go, oh, that's coming to an end.
You have to let go of it.
All that is gone now. The real big thing that was in over in this occasion was that neither of us. There were like 7 people, okay, that were like the admins of one flat Earth group in Israel, and all those 7 people has been eliminated at one night without notice ahead. Okay, in one night, 7 of them were eliminated totally from Facebook. It's not
I'll be
like
honest.
If you like opening,
what from Facebook? Eliminated from Facebook completely.
Yeah, completely, like, including me, including myself.
I see a
We
pattern.
were like totally eliminated. Like we weren't like even existed anywhere in time in Facebook.
Hang on. Have they deleted your Facebook profile?
Yes, my personal profile and
I didn't know they'd done that. I thought. Hang on. I thought that you'd just been. I thought you'd just been chucked out of a group. I didn't realize they deleted your entire profile.
Well, that whole group, by the sound of it, right?
Yeah, the whole group
Well-
was canceled, was like deleted. All the admins that were the admins of that group, their own personal profile has been eliminated. Like,
right,
poof, it didn't
didn't
exist.
know that. I didn't.
I'm like,
I
I'm like, yes, now
apologize.
I'm getting into the Esh group, the Esh News group that they have. Okay, and I'm seeing the post over there, and I'm like seeing that my posts are not existed, okay, and my comments are not existed. Anything that related to me over in Facebook for the last 12 years or so, I think that I'm like over there, has been gone, and it's and also like we probably think that it's a hacker or something like that, because we see that the notification that is being sent over there that your account is being disabled or whatever, it looks to me like a little bit suspicious. It doesn't look like a Facebook referral or something like that. It looks like I don't know what happened over there. And it asks us to input our ID in order to us to continue whatever. And it's kind of like it's really weird. Now the thing is that it's weird from all sorts of directions. First off, in the magnitude of it and the impact of it, and also like they didn't give any of us any kind of like notification that it's going to happen. It's just like puff happened. Now the interesting thing with all this occasion is that it intentionally hurt a flat Earth group, which are the Yeshua believers group. Okay. Which are the ones who are being prosecuted here in Israel in all the social networks and in general, because any talking about Yeshua, Jesus, whatever in Israel is I don't want to say forbidden, but it's like you've been taught from from day one that this is like this dark topic that no one should talk about. And I actually the last 1 or 2 years been following this path, and the people over here in Israel that are following Yeshua, and I came to sense that they got lots of truth inside them, and it's in here in Israel it's a big conflict, okay, because all the forces of the religious Jewish institutes are being pointed that every time that you will even mention this name, everyone will go and start banning everyone and starting doing doing the same thing that our governments are being done to the people for the last 2.5 years, and just to just ban people according to their opinions, okay, according to their thoughts. And this is the thing that being done now by the truthers community over here to other truthers, and we see that it's been like a very targeted quest for them to target directly into the Yeshua people. And you ask yourself why is that, okay? And beside of like the brainwashing of the Israeli society, there is like a feeling that we are approaching the end of days, and in the end of days, the role of the people who believe Yeshua, especially here in the Holy Land, in Israel, where all the shit is going to hit the fan, I think the significance is like really tremendous. And regarding this Facebook thing, seriously, I'm not like being offended. I'm not like being taking it personally. I'm telling them that if you don't want my presence over there, if I'm not feeling needed, so I don't need to. I don't feel that I need to give my presence over there and my creation and whatever good things that I do for this evil corporate. But so on that aspect, it doesn't really really interesting. We do like think about handing them like a letter or something like that and threatening to sue them or whatever. But this is just for us to understand who actually did it, okay? Because this is the most.
I see an opportunity, dude. I see an opportunity, right? Everything becomes an opportunity, and an opportunity for you is to refocus.
Oh, yeah.
All of the energy that you put into Facebook, all of that energy, all of that creative energy, all of that expression, and you refocus it.
Sure. And I will tell you another thing, that in everything that I've gone through in the last 2 weeks, okay, every single thing got like we had the occasion, and I had the conclusion, okay, the godly conclusion that in the end of each process, in the each of each wave, I told myself, okay, what is God is trying to tell me when he put me through all this, and in each time the conclusion was so clear, was so like on the point, that I in the moment that I that I understood it, I burst out laughing, and just being blessed with this recognition on whatever, that it's all been done for a certain reason, and it's all like all the reasons are like being connected eventually into one more clear reason that it's all happening.
Hey, listen, right? At the end of the day, we all know that if Twitter had have existed if Twitter and Facebook and YouTube had have existed 2,000 years ago during the days of Christ would have been banned and censored from Twitter and Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Well, that's the other thing. It's not a shock, is it? I mean, that we know they are cleaning house. Use the opportunity for yourself to clean house as well, I say.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the funny thing was that this whole thing with the Yeshua people was an actual reenactment of the gospel story, like happening over on social networks in 2022. All the actors were there, like the parasites and the Romans and the Yeshua people. They all like took roles in this reality, and played the gospel story, and it was like hilarious. And I think that us getting out from Facebook was the reenactment of the crucifixion eventually. And so
it could be seen that way, definitely.
Yeah,
it can because you're all carrying the Christ consciousness, so
yeah, exactly. And I think that that now the next stage is for us to rise up from the dead, and
rise up
and prepare for the second coming or whatever.
Rise up.
Hello, what's up with you guys? How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to live in the present, and we have like a million things we want to do and manifest and create, but sometimes you have to remember to come back to the present and let it happen as it's supposed to, right?
Because we can only live in the now, can't we? Whatever we're doing, we're only ever doing it now. So.
Okay, and are you going to talk about the Globe Light Tour and things like that?
Oh yes, right. So segment, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to play a little video just to break it up. I'm gonna. Do you know what? I'm gonna play your one. It's the same tune. I'm gonna play your one.
What do you think you've learned?
Absolutely nothing. Well, I've tried to learn, but I calculate not a lot really. I've learned that you must treat people properly, and that you must proceed in a certain way, and you must try and have a vibe of how to sort of enjoy situations. So I've learned just to, don't get miserable, or fight the misery with some intelligence. This is like the most difficult area of the whole malarkey, really. It's hard to turn something around when it's going, and it's not something that you can learn by well, as far as I can see, it's something that comes to you with a bit of luck and a bit of instinct, yeah? But therefore it's not something you can ever bank on. I'm not smart enough to figure out what the hell it is or how it works at all, That's why I treat it like hoodoo. I do find I still have a talent to cause a bit of, stir up a little bit of confusion, yeah? But I'll do what I can to create as much chaos as I possibly can. But my chaos is always well-natured, or has a positive, it has a positive goal at the end. When I start causing chaos in a situation, it's because the situation really needed to be changed, for example, or something is going to happen that I thought would be a good idea. And 9 times out of 10, I'm on it, I must say. Hopefully, that hasn't unjigged. That hasn't unjigged. That hasn't unjigged. That hasn't unjigged. That hasn't unjigged.
I love that bit of music, man. Absolutely love it.
Me too.
Right. So, got a bit of an echo going on there.
I'll mute myself.
So I've got, yeah, it's because I think, oh no, I can still hear it. Anyway, never mind. So Jason has been on, there's Adam Meakin. Jason has been on the Global Tour with Trinity 4 and Sven P and Adam Meakin. That is Adam Meakin, isn't it? And some other people. We basically, we need to catch up with these guys because we were going to do a thing every day and it just hasn't worked out. It hasn't worked out that way. So as you can see, I'll put the link in again. Oh bugger, how's it going?
Can I add something about the Global Tour?
Of course.
Of course, okay. I just want to say that it's very nice to see those pictures over here. Actually, 2 years ago, two and a half years ago, I was participating in the European Global Tour that was back then.
Yeah, Amsterdam, wasn't it? Didn't you meet him you went and met him in Amsterdam, I think.
Yes, exactly. There was the big Flat Earth convention, the European one in Amsterdam in 2019, September it was. And this was like the beginning, let's say the beginning of this Global Tour that lasted like through something like 20, 30 countries in Europe, in the major cities over there. And I do remember that I met up with them and I saw the bus and everything, the van over there, like in Amsterdam, and I met with the people. And I was really like over there. It was a really, I know, significant moment for me because I saw. It was for me the first time that I saw people abroad that are like I met with people abroad that are dealing with this flat earth activity, and you can see really the passion in their eyes and everything. And it was like pre-COVID era, so everything was a lot more naive back then. And we did really believe the people over there and me and myself, we did really believe that we can do a big difference with this activity. And I heard it also like afterwards, after I left Amsterdam, and I used to follow like Roxanne's broadcast that was back then, and it's a great initiative, and I think it's a great thing, and I think it's getting a really different perspective after COVID.
Well, people are more open to sort of, because there's a lot of people are seeing lies right in front of their faces.
I want to take this opportunity to speak about a big major I don't know thing or like happenings that happen in the flat Earth community, and I think it's all on the base of the big question that is revolving around flat Earth. And because I do see that the whole thing is being held up a little bit lately, and no, like the big discoveries are being made and things like that. And I do think that it's all based on the big conflict, okay, that some people have between the physical side and the spiritual side of flat Earth. Because the moment you can distinguish between those these two sides of it, you can actually see who's the people who are dealing with those two sides, and what are the goals, and what are what the hell they're doing. They're like involving with flat Earth. So the physical side means all the things that you can observe in this current reality, and this is kind of like the first step you're taking. The second step you're taking in flat Earth. The first one is like you're like discovering the lie. Okay, it's always the first step is discovering the lie, is observing the lie.
The first step is overcoming the cognitive dissonance. That's the first step. Overcoming your own cognitive dissonance and accepting that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's not an official steps. Okay, it's not an official steps, but it's like a natural process. Okay, that happens. You discover the lie, then afterwards you want to see this physical reality. You want to observe and know what it really is. Okay, so you're like doing all the things that newbie flat earther do. It takes all the lasers and all the cameras and look at the stars and look at the horizon and look at all those things which are plainly technical and just brings you to answers you the question how this world is actually looks like on the physical level. Now, after you got this, and I don't want to say how much time it takes to give this concept because it's very individual. But like after this, the whole concept, the whole journey of flat Earth is going from the physical side to the spiritual side, and meaning that you need to now to understand. After you understood how this world looks like, you need to understand why it looks like that. Okay, and who created it. And of course, the acknowledgement that if this place is, as you said, Rich, it's a realm, it's a structure, so it couldn't be made out of nothing. So this place must have a creator, whatever his name is. Okay. Now, and with this concept, you're asking yourself, okay, so I know that he created this place. Now I need to ask why.
Can I just stop you? Just
Sure.
stop you there. Because you're basing it on a patriarchal. You're saying he is the creator of this realm is. I don't think is an individual, he or her. I think it's something outside of our conception. We can't even conceive what created this realm, let alone perceive it. We can't even conceive it because it's beyond our limit. At the moment, we're limited to this experience because of our amnesia, whatever.
I totally agree with you. Okay, I totally agree with you. We can't concept God, but it's like it's our quest for truth. Okay,
Yeah.
You spend your whole life, to get to know Him, to be arrogant and to say that you know the truth and you're like knowing God and everything. No, but it's not happening. But but people are asking me, hey, you're talking about God all the time. Have you met him? Have you whatever? And I'm telling them, yeah, I can see him every day. I'm looking outside my window and I see his
I'm
creation,
talking to him now. Thank you. Hello there. Hi. Did you not realize you're kind of technically you're God as well? So nice to meet you. The Indians recognize that. The Indians recognize that. It's why when you meet an Indian, they'll put their palms together and they say namaste, because namaste means basically it's saluting the divinity within you.
Yeah. Okay, so I do believe that now the whole natural concept and the whole natural quest that we all have, we all being born into a world of lies. Okay, and our spiritual journey in life is to go towards the truth.
Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen?
Here's where I see it a little bit different. I myself am not a truth seeker, and I don't really. I try not to say, but language is hard. I'm a seeker of truth. I'm not I'm a seeker of lies. I'm a seeker of beliefs. When I remove the lies, what is left is the truth. So the truth reveals itself. It's nothing to seek. It's the same as happiness as well. Same thing. I don't see a path of happiness. You remove the worry, you remove the stress. Happiness reveals itself to be of true nature.
I'll be
Truth
honest.
reveals.
To be honest, though, Callum, like, it's not even finding or seeking. It's eliminating lies. We all know the truth. We know the truth. Our soul.
Through what? Through
the
finding the
souls that
lies
we're
you
carrying.
found?
Yeah.
Well, but no, it's a question of. No, what I mean is like when things resonate with us. When it resonates in your heart because your soul knows it. It's like, yeah, well, there, yeah, yeah.
But,
I know that.
I contend that is truth revealing itself, and you're resonating with it.
I'll tell you the story.
So you don't need to seek it,
Get out
do
the
you?
way.
It's like
Yeah.
You get out the way, so you stop seeking. You stop trying to find it, and you are it.
You notice the noticer.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Rich. I'll tell you my story with being involved with media, with this alternative media that we are dealing with. And when I started dealing with it, I told myself, I want to do truthful art, truthful media. Okay. Now, this kind of statements are very empty because everyone wants to.
They contradict each other as well because media was the goddess of illusion. So they absolutely contradict each other. You can't have truthful media. You can have truthful reporting.
Yeah, I didn't want to do. I just wanted to do like this big vision, that everyone wants to do. Truthful art, whatever. Now I thought to myself, it's very pretentious for me to, to know what truthful art is. So what I decided to do is to go to the place that I know that there are full of liars over there, and this is the mainstream media. I've been involved with them all my life, and I know that they are big fat liars. So I went down to them and I started to learn everything about them, all their lies and all the things that they're deceived with, and the methods that they're using to do that, and all of that. And when I started to do the H News thing, the media, so I told myself I'm gonna do everything just opposite from what they do. Okay, just opposite. I'm not gonna do the shows like in their set of time like they're doing, like you're doing now, Richie. 3 hours and 18 minutes from what I'm seeing over here. Like so they won't do shows with length like that. They won't bring the people that I'm bringing on my shows. Okay, they don't want them in their studios over there. And all the settings and all the content and all the, even like the logos and the editing and everything, I took it not necessarily like with the being opposite to professional, okay, but being opposite to the mainstream media, okay, just doing everything.
That's why I'm so relaxed about. Like, it's nice to have things, nice, and it's nice to have my green screen sorted out, a decent camera, a nice microphone. Those things I think are important for communication, for getting things across. But I'm not fussed about a schedule so much. It's we've been going for 3 hours and 19. Well, okay, we've been going for 3 hours and 19 minutes. Well, that makes me think. I look in the chat room and I see the people that I saw 3 hours ago, and I'm like, "You people are awesome. You are awesome." Because it's it's the energy that's created here that keeps people here, and that I'm very proud of that. Like,
or they just
it's the same. I mean, it's not quite the same numbers as Martin and Jason and Paul Cook and Cam. It's not the same sort of numbers, but it's the same quality people.
Fuck
It's
off,
definitely
Richie.
the
It's
same quality people.
Numbers are illusion, a total illusion. Okay, numbers are like it's also like the big lie of. If we mentioned earlier, that on Facebook you don't have like real friends. So it's also like goes right over here. You don't have like real viewers, okay? Because anyone can take this amount of viewing time with this whole broadcast, okay? But it will still be counted as one viewer, okay? So it doesn't matter whether like it's for the devil tool, okay? It doesn't matter how much interest and engagement you actually put into your show, okay? It still counts as one. And this is like the big lie of like all the numbers online, okay? And you can see how manipulated the numbers were like in the last years over
Did you ever see the screenshot that I got? Right, I got a screenshot of Roxy's and a screenshot of mine. Roxy's we hadn't even gone live yet, and it was saying that she'd had over 1 million views already, and mine said it was over 700,000 views already. We hadn't even gone live yet. And then they scrapped it. Then when I went back to it, it wasn't saying that anymore. But I got a screenshot of it saying it. I've got it somewhere. Screenshots of it saying it.
Yeah. Listen, like the numbers in general are like it's a language. Okay, it's a language which is part of the scientific language. And the thing is with the using of numbers in science is that it always can be manipulated, okay, with all kinds of like effects and algorithm and whatever. So those numbers in any field that we have in this current world of life that we have, it's just untrustworthy. I think we should really stop being so impressed from those numbers. Okay, they're not really.
I'm not. I mean, I do like. So it's all about how many people are actually engaged, isn't it? So we've got 24. We've dropped 10 viewers in the last sort of 10 minutes. We've got 24 people watching, but how many people are actually engaged in the chat room? There's only 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. There's only probably 7 or 8 people engaged.
I don't know. So this will probably give you some kind of like estimation or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Okay, the whole thing is that you shouldn't put your hope, okay, or your feelings about the content that you're doing by the number of people who watched it or reacted.
If I did, dude, if I did, I wouldn't be here right now because I've been doing this for like nearly 5 years now. And and I see other people that started, a year ago or 2 years ago, and they're like 70,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers, and I just sit here and go, "Oh, mate, oh."
It's all about the motives that you're doing what you do. Okay, I think that if you're doing those things that you do in order to get money or honor or recognition or whatever. It's a sinful cause, okay? I think that the main thing that you should do, what you do, is for the truth and for the creation itself, okay? And it doesn't need any more than that. Those are like two very, I think, important and crucial,
the way I see this, right? The way I see my channel, the way I want my channel to be, the way I see this entire thing, right, is. All I want to do is get together with as many people as possible who are all after the same thing. And this is an adventure, man. This is a crazy adventure. Like we're kids again. We don't know anything. Everything we've been taught is a lie. We don't know anything. So let's go out there and, let's create something new, man. Because when you get down to it, when you get down to it, when you really analyze it, you can see, oh, right, okay, well, they say secondary school starts when you're 11 because that's when they really need to start programming you. When we see that actually it's a very small minority of people, like it's time if the numbers of the amount of people on the earth are true, let's say there's 8 billion people on Earth, really, truly 8 billion people on Earth. How is it that there's only about 20,000 people that are completely controlling 8 billion? You know, it's not a. And that's all because of brainwashing. Because they see how they just capture the attention of people with no ability to think for themselves, and they're just a bunch of lemmings, and they go and walk them off a cliff.
You see how it's a feeding though too. They are feeding this thing that they have to keep alive or whatever. If they stop feeding it this little amount, they put a lot of energy or currency into creating an image. That is feeded. I mean, people feed back into it, and so that's what you'd call louche or whatever when you're feeding the beast or whatever.
And the thing is, that brings up an interesting point actually. Even pointing it at, like, getting something and not going along with it, but saying this is going on, this is happening, and I don't agree with it. You're still pushing that agenda. You might not be agreeing. You know what? Might not be agreeing with that agenda, but the fact that you're bringing it to people's attention.
Well, agreement that now you're putting that feeling with it as well. So you're creating an emotional package. That's energy that you're giving it now too. If I am just aware of it, and then I don't put the emotion with it, I don't put the energy of agreement or not agreement or whatever attachment. If I don't attach to it, then I'm not feeding the beast there as well. I'm not giving it the energy, but I am aware of it. I can see whatever comes, processes, not shying or ignoring anything. You see what you see. You see what's in front of your path, what is in front of you. It's a matter of seeing and being aware, so then we can process these things. It's like, but yes, what energy do I give these things? And it's like, well, why give it any energy, especially when you know what's happening, when you've seen it enough, when you've given enough energy, and you go, you know what, giving my energy to this is not worth.
See you later, hippie.
So much more to me and the people around me, my energy. So that's manifestation.
I want to add something, Richie, about this whole involvement of us doing this media. I think that you can certainly notice with whoever deals with it, from what you said earlier, from the honest intentions of it, you can actually look at it and you can distinguish that everyone who is like a real truther in that aspect, he has a very repeating, character. Is usually
open-minded.
Open-minded, but he shares these things with other people. Okay, like you do over here in this show. Whoever is usually is like the truther is coming over the screen by himself. Okay, and he's saying, "Yeah, I know the truth about this and this and this," blah, 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 and he's yelling to the screen. This one is very arrogant and pretentious. The one who are inviting other people for this conversation to share with him. Those are
open the discussion up. To open it up.
The ones who are not afraid from opposing opinions or something like that, and is really here to put the truth on the table along with other people to observe it, because you can certainly see that the people who are getting in touch to other people, who are getting other people involved, are the people who are really truthers, because they understand that the truth, the quest for truth, is a common quest, and the only way that we can understand a glimpse of it is just if we all join forces together, and not each one will be sure that
what that means is recognition of the fact that whilst some of us have got puzzle pieces and some of us have got more than others, there's not one single one of us that has all the pieces to this puzzle. This puzzle is just unbelievably huge, man. Unbelievably huge. So what we need to do is share our information without fear of judgment, share our insights, share our experience. Share our
Yes, and
actual
compliment our
experience.
our fellow friends. Okay, that goes on and over here, and compliment them, and I know advertising their good work and things like that you're doing right now with this Club Light tour. All of those things are. I think this is the way that we together could reach
Because this
some kind
truth
of
doesn't belong to this. This is something I said when I first started my channel. The truth doesn't belong to any one of us. It belongs to all of us. It's like it's your birthright.
You
man.
have to give it back. You have to give your experience back. You have to share your experience. Good, all of it. All of it. It's holding on to things. They're attaching to things. You have to give it all back. You have to give it all back. You have to share it all. Why not do it sooner?
Rich, do you care to listen now for a recent development in the story of Isaac's well?
Oh gosh, yeah, man. If you've got a recent
Yes.
development, definitely.
Recent development in story, like if you got time in the show, right? I got like something like 15, 20 minutes to wash people's heads with the story.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me give people the background to it then quickly.
I will tell the story, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, all right. So I've done some work with Nia. I did a background voice. Did a voiceover for a video that he did about Isaac's well, and I don't know how many people know what Isaac's well is, but God basically gave to Isaac the well. He created the well.
Let me tell the story, Rich. Let me tell the story.
You tell the story, dude.
Yeah, I'll tell the story.
Go on.
Now, Richie, he cooperated with me on this project about 2.5 years ago when we did. I did like a short film about it. I did the narration over there, and the story of Isaac's well. It's a very unique and story for me. It's a personal story that I kind of like felt that I discovered and feeling a personal attachment to it because it revolves the story of the city of Rehovot, which is my hometown right now. Now, the city of Rehovot is being mentioned in the Bible over at Genesis 26. The story where Isaac is going to there is like a big hunger in Israel and the land of Israel, and is considering going to Egypt and to continue on, the dynasty over there. If you don't remember, Isaac is the second forefather of. If you can, Rich, try to look at my YouTube account. Like
I'm on your YouTube account.
Yeah, and you can share it, whatever. Anyway, so.
This is the thing that I did the voiceover for. It's 2 minutes 35 seconds long. Does anybody? Should we watch it?
Put this
Should we
on
watch
and,
it?
put this on and I will continue afterwards. It will be a good one.
Yeah, it's just a quick video in it, and I like this video, man.
Yeah, you're the best over there. The secrets of Isaac's well. Anyway, till which brings it on. Anyway, I will just start by saying that it's quite a fun story.
Can you not hear it?
No, I can't see it. We can't hear it, actually.
Ah, right. Hang on. Sorry. I thought I was sharing it then.
You're looking depressed in that picture, Richie.
No, I'm sat there going, come on. When are we going to do something? Well, how long are we going to put up with this? Come on, man. How long are we going to put up with this? Right, here we go.
Yes. Ooh, the secrets of Isaac's well. My old entrance.
The Secret of Isaac's Well. Rehovot, Israel. Founded in 1890 by independent farmers, Rehovot was known as the City of Orchards. And today, It is called the City of Science. However, the story of Rehovot begins even earlier with the story of Isaac's well in Genesis 26. God fulfilled his oath to Abraham by providing wells of living water to Isaac wherever he turned.
Oh, piss off.
The only well over which there was no dispute was named Rehovot, the land that God himself expanded with his well for Isaac's seed to be fruitful. Today, Rehovot is a different city. The vast orchards that used to surround the farmers' houses are long gone. Since the foundation of the Weizmann Institute of Science by the first Israeli president Chaim Weizmann, science took control over the city's lands, resident buildings, and working places. The massive attempts to shield and envelop the Weizmann Institute with science from every direction gives rise to many questions. What secrets are they trying to protect? On becoming the first president of Israel, why did Chaim Weizmann settle in Rehovot? And what if Isaac's well still exists within the Weizmann Institute? The secret of Isaac's well, coming soon here on Ash News.
There we go. So that's the Rehoboth Beach is where Biden fell off his bike.
Exactly. And this is I will need to summarize the story in a few minutes, okay? And then I will explain how it's got to do with the Rehoboth Beach where Biden fell, and another like a few stories that I got around lately, which made this story really relevant, like for nowadays. And for me personally, that I kind of like it's my my thing, my baby. So I really every time that I discover something new about it, it's really thrilling for me. Anyway, the story, if you got that from the short video, it talks about the city of Rehovot, that it's being mentioned over in Genesis 26, the story of Isaac, where he went over to search for wells for water. And in every place that he went by, he got a feud with the local people over there.
Somebody already claimed ownership of the water, didn't they? So
he did it first, and then afterwards came new people and started fighting over this land. And then God showed him the way to a well that the people over there didn't fight with him. And then he called this place Rehovot because it's written down in the Bible that he called it Rehovot because God expanded this land for us. And Rechav, it's like wide in Hebrew. Rechav, it's like the root of Rehovot. Now, so this is kind of like the actual meaning of the name that God is giving, that the Bible is giving to us with this place. Now, until the year 1890, okay, it's about 4,000 years later after the story in the Bible. The story over here in that in this place, a city was established named Rehovot. And it's also like geographically goes by with the story of the Bible, okay, with other places that are mentioned over there that are still existing today in Israel. And then we got the people over here, as you said over there in the video, they established an agriculture farmers city with orchards and all of that, and it's been called the Orchard City until the year 1924. When a guy named Chaim Weizmann, who later on became the first president of Israel, he came over to this city, and he decided in this orchard farmer city to establish a scientific facility. Okay, it was back then named SIF Institute, and then when he was elected as wasn't elected, he was like appointed as the first president of Israel. He came from
thanks to King George.
Thanks to King George, thanks to Rothschild, and thanks to all the Freemasons you can think of. Okay, now and he came over here, and he turned the name of the SIF Institute to Weizmann Institute, and established his home over here in this institute inside. Now, the city of Rehovot is not considered a big city in Israel. It was really weird that the first president of Israel would come and settle inside this city. So this was like a big question. First question was, why did they actually establish the scientific facility in a farmer's city? Second question is, why did he came to settle over here when he was the first president of Israel? And the third question that pops up is that for all the time that I grew up, and since Rehovot was established, since Rehovot had this Weizmann Institute, you can see a wide belt of scientific facilities being popped up on the surrounding this Weizmann Institute. You got like a place called the Science Park, and all the orchards that were back then, they were like being cut down. Instead of them, there's like huge residence neighborhoods with big, big stories, buildings, and everything. And it's been called Rehovot Science or Rehovot Weizmann, or all kinds of like places that glorifies the names of science and of Weizmann himself. Chaim Weizmann himself is beside being a major politician or whatever, he was also like a scientist, and he was honored by the British government after the First World War for inventing acetone for military use. Okay, meaning chemical weapons. Okay, so anyway, this guy, you can see that his hand is with everything, and he passed away 3 years after he came settling in Rehovot. And you can see that nowadays Rehovot has like lots of scientific facilities. It has agriculture facility right in front of Weizmann Institute. You got a biology center.
It's so modern now. It's so modern now.
Now, and you asking yourself, okay, with those three questions that I mentioned, okay, why did Chaim Weizmann came to Rehovot? Why did he settle in? And why did Rehovot became this scientific city out of this orchard city?
There's a fourth question.
What?
There's a fourth question.
What is?
And why the fuck has he put a well in the middle of this really nondescript building?
You spoiled it completely with him. Completely, okay? The fourth question that you mentioned is the answer, okay? The answer for all those three questions, okay?
Yeah.
The only answer is that this well that is mentioned
it's something of interest
in Genesis,
there.
okay, in Genesis, is still existing today, and if it exists today, it exists inside Rehovot, inside Weizmann Science Institute.
I'll tell you what I bet, right? I bet you vast sums of money, right?
Yeah, just a second, Rich. And if it's like inside the Science Institute, it must be beside his house. And like and with this, all the things that I mentioned right now, all this story was a pothead, delusion that we had in our living room when we thought about this thing, and then we went outside and said, "Hey, let's check it out."
You put it into action, man. You actually went out there and said,
we said,
"Go and have a look."
Yeah, like this place is like 10 minutes walking from my place. Okay, I will just go inside there and see where's the well. And I went over there with the camera. It was 2.5 years ago, and we just gone to the place where Weizmann used to live and his house.
You the thing is, when you went in there, it's not like you went in there saying, "Right, we want to go to this house here because we know there's going to be this sort of well in there." You didn't know that. You went in there saying,
"Yeah, no." We first wanted to in the movie. We first wanted to give the viewers a view on the Weizmann Institute. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Okay, it's a beautiful place. It has like I want to say a godly atmosphere in it. It's so peaceful, and it has this scientific, buildings over there. It has like libraries and labs. I don't know what, but it's like you feel, I know, very calm, very peaceful over there.
Maybe they're
And
hijacking the energy, man.
exactly. Now the thing is that we went over to the to where Weitzman lived, and we kind of like stumbled by his house that turned into a museum by now. We stumbled like something like 50, 100 meters by it, a building which is that you saw over there in the film, okay? A really cracked, torn up building with these broken windows inside it. And we kind of like said, this looks suspicious a little bit, and we just got our cameras, and it's towards the end of this short film, and we just got the cameras inside there, and hold it, stop. Yeah. Anyway, and we just put our cameras inside there, and what we noticed that this whole building was completely empty. Here, this really, and it has this poem of some kind of like very famous Israeli poet on Weissman himself. And what we saw inside the house when we got into the camera, that this place is totally empty. Beside just one thing which was on the floor over there. Here's me slow motioning into this building. And what we saw was a water pump, something like 100 years old water pump, just lying on the floor over there. And besides that, nothing inside this building. And you can clearly see that this building was being built about it was built after this water pump was built. It was built on top of it, okay? Meaning that, and this water pump, I estimated of about 100 years old, and 100 years old means that it was established when Weissman
1909.
Yeah.
It was at 1890.
Came into the fold. So he had very, very good reason to establish this water pump right by his house, okay? And the thing is that this well, or the water that they are in this well, are like one of the few remainings of really godly or like spiritual
sweet water.
Yeah, I don't know what's in the water, okay, but it's being blessed by God physically, technically. It's written down like that in the Bible, okay, and
primary water.
And once you can see, okay, that this whole thing is just like the flat Earth story. It's just like everything else that science is doing, trying to hide over God whenever he sees.
A
remaining of God somewhere. He has to hide it. He has to hijack it.
And this is reflected. This is reflected out into. Look at like what we were talking about Tartaria. What that's showing me is that what they use an awful lot is facade. They use it physically with the buildings. They use it with their own personalities. Everything is a facade. They've put it in front of what's really there, and like the facade outside. The facade outside of this pump, which could potentially be Isaac's well, the facade outside of it is that there's nothing important here. Nothing important.
That's the barrier they're putting so that nucleus is contained and doesn't escape out. People don't feel that torus field because we've limited that torus field from around it.
What do you think would be the effect? What do you think would be the effect if mainstream media were to run with the story, Isaac's well still exists and it's in the Weizmann Institute?
I've been thinking about going to those guys from Oaks Island, if you know those, from the History Channel, Lagina Brothers, if you know them. They're like
the Mythbusters, the Mythbuster guys.
No. Another sellouts, a different sellouts. The Laginos, they're the ones who are like researching Oak Island for like 9 years already and don't find
gatekeepers.
And so we found that they started a new series.
I still watch that Oak Island series though every now and again for sure.
Yeah,
I love it.
I actually felt like place. I kind of like looked at it for 9 seasons. I checked it like 9 seasons intensely, and Nothing. They don't find anything in there.
Of course
It's so
not.
silly.
No.
It's so
They'll
silly.
ruin it.
It's like
Just a coin. Coin.
with
And
the
that is
ghost
mirrored over there.
We gotta have a
1400.
thing.
Sarah's trying to speak. Hang on, Sarah's trying to speak. Your mic's getting cut out, babe. Go
Cut
on.
out.
Oh no, it's all good. I was joking around just about like the same thing with the Bigfoot shows and the ghost shows. I actually used to be really into the ghost shows, like when I first
Oh,
first
me too. Me
they got
too.
really heavily produced, and then it was
Paranormal.
we found some evidence, but nothing's gonna
I
happen.
still right. I actually, I still watch the YouTube ghost hunters because there's more truth in those ghost hunting stories. I'm more likely to believe because there are some things it's like, that could be someone fucking with them because you can see it's real. It's real. The fear that
But
they're
people's stories
experiencing
as well, so you can hear it's real. Like,
oh man,
especially
I
for me
like.
too. Like, I read people, so if someone's telling me a story, I'm reading them. So it's like, yeah, your body says this is real. You experience this or whatever.
Oh, you watch where their eyes are going, man. I watch where their eyes are going when they're talking. If they can hold, the gaze, you know. Go on,
Anyway, Rich,
Neil.
I want to go on with the story.
Yeah, we are
Yeah,
completely digressing, man. Sorry, dude.
Okay.
Go on.
It's all related.
That's good.
Welcome.
So anyway, about I will start off with a thing that I had it was last week over here in Rehovot. I think it was before COVID. It was something like 5 or 6 years that we had a festival in the city, which was a living sculptures festival. Okay, all kinds of it's like a street art, and people are coming over there, and
They
being
do
dressed as
something
sculptors.
similar in Spain. They do something
Oh.
similar in Spain, mainland
Yeah.
Spain.
Yeah. Anyway,
Go
it's
on.
like regarding the art part of about it. They like getting this whole street and having all kinds of like food stands and doing this whole carnival with it and whatever. And it's being held in the street which is called Jacob Street. Okay, Jacob Street, which is right by my house. It's the parallel street to my house. So when they're having this festival, they're like I can hear it like from my house, like really really loud and everything, and it's like it's a little bit bothering, and I can't find any parking or whatever. But yeah, that's okay. But and we had it like for something like 6 years or so, for a week. It lasts for a week, and then we had the COVID time. So for 2 years we didn't have this festival going on. But last week they kind of like got it back for here in the city of Rehovot, and I know I kind of like noticed it with like I heard it from my house, and I kind of like checked it out and went down over there, checked out the sculptures and whatever, and with my personal perspective this time, what I encountered was a truly paganic, devilish, festival over there. Was absolute Satanism. I don't know how to.
Was it sexual? Was it very sexualized?
It was sexual. It was all kinds of little demons and little whatever. And you have it there on the center of the street. You had like a presentation of I don't know how to call it, like rides like that are being puffed, and little children are like jumping on them and things like that. And so
inflatable, inflated, like bouncy castle.
Yeah, inflatable things. Yeah. So they had this whole square being filled with those inflatable things, and they're all like shaped with black and white, and all kinds of like Freemasonic, paint, shapes and whatever. It looks so evil, this thing. And I'm like, we started wondering for myself. Wait a minute! I remember the 10 Commandments, right? 10 Commandments that God got from Moses and stuff. And over there on the second commandment, they're saying, "Do not do any picture or sculpture. Don't do that." Okay? Why? Why did it was so important to put it into the second commandment? Because differs, the Israelites from the other pagans, okay, from the other that are like worshiping those sculptures. And
Right, but if you dissect that further and say, well, what is about worshipping idols, worshipping false idols and sculptures? You're putting energy and belief and all these things into something that you shouldn't be. That's not where you should be putting it. You should be putting it into other things. So you should
worship. You should worship the spirit and not the matter. Okay, you should worship the spirit.
Well, it relates to ourselves.
No,
as well.
You shouldn't worship anything. You should not worship. Yeah. You should not worship anything. You can celebrate. You can celebrate it. You can express gratitude for it, but you should never worship it, because here on this earth, personally, I feel that here on this earth, this earth was created for us, and we are, on common law, we are, as living men and women, the highest authority on the land, and the only thing higher than us is the Creator. So we are all equal in that sense, and there's no one has got any authority over anybody else. Of course. That in that sense, like,
we are all creating too, so
co-creating. The only thing that we have, we can control our own reality.
We were created in the image of the Creator, and He gave us the most important.
But this relates to ourselves as well. So if you take that inside as well, how does this relate to me? This is the mask, the ego, the not me,
the persona.
So don't worship that. Don't worship the idol of yourself.
No,
as well.
Or
like
of anybody else.
So being who you are is expression, full expression.
Yeah, I want to get back to the story a little bit for for what happened over there. So anyway, I saw this sculpture festival, and it was happening on Jacob Street. Okay, Jacob is the father of Isaac. Okay, that Isaac, he's the one who's initially founded this city. So, and Jacob, in addition, he's been called also Israel, because he's the one who he's got his second name, because he fought with the angel of God. And after that, he got the name of Israel. Now, so and on top of that,
and I watched Jacob Israel. I love him. I love Jacob.
No, not Jacob. I'm not talking about him. Not talking about him. No, I'm talking about it.
No, but I'm just saying. No, dude, I'm just saying.
Don't confuse your viewers. Come
on.
All right,
Rich. But I'm just saying, because you're talking about Jacob and Israel, and I'm just saying that Jacob Israel is actually one of the best, for me personally, one of the best interpreters of scripture that I've ever come across.
Okay. Anyway, but I'm telling you that that Jacob in Israel is equal to Israel. Okay. Now, the mayor of Rehovot is a really religious guy. Okay, he's a top religious guy. Yes, with the yarmulke, with his beard and all of that, and it's kind of like, so it seems so weird to me. Okay, that he's like violating the second commandment. Okay, on the street of Israel, in the city that Isaac founded, in the land that was promised to Abraham. Okay, now it seems so, it's not a coincidence. Okay, it's not a coincidence that this brutal violation of
there's no such thing.
There is no such thing as coincidence happening over here. So it's also like related to the story of Isaac as well. Okay, meaning that that there is a godly presence in this city, and the people who are like objecting that will do anything to cover it, to violate it, to go against it. And it goes also to the story of Biden, okay, of Biden in Rehovot. Now,
falling in Rehovot,
Yeah, so the story was like that he went over there, the media took a picture of him going with the bicycle, and then like he's like dropped or something like that.
Well, hang on. Let me.
This the second time?
Hang on. No, he's only done it once. But The important thing is, but be full. Let's be full about the information. He had those clips on his pedals that your foot go into, right? And what happened was he didn't take his foot out of the pedal properly when he shifted his weight. And because he's an old man, he just couldn't do it. His bits wouldn't work quick enough, and he fell on his ass. And it wasn't that he just stopped and fell over. So I'm going to give that to him. I'm going to give that to the man. I've done that. And you go to get your foot out and then you fall over. I've done that with clips myself when I was 20 years old. Okay. So, but he is an old man. He is decrepit.
Let's take a basic assumption, okay, from what I'm going to say, that this whole thing was staged, okay? Staged in some level, okay? Yeah. Let's start with this, with what I'm going to say, with this assumption. Here, that it was staged, that it has some kind of like a symbolic meaning. Now, and I will tell you, and I will tell you what's the symbolic meaning of it. Now, again, it's not a coincidence that it happened in Rehovot. The story of Rehovot was that Isaac came to this place because he didn't want to go because God told him not to go to Egypt, okay, and he stayed over here. And the ending of his story was good, that he found a well of living water. Now, the story of
one sec. I think that because you've just said it right there. That's why the water is so special. It's living water.
Living water. Yeah. Now, Joe Biden. You know what Joe's full name?
It's got a girl's name.
No.
It's like Miriam or something, isn't it?
No. What Joe stands for?
Joseph,
exactly. Okay. Now, that communicates instantly with the biblical character of Joseph. Joseph was the youngest son of Jacob.
With a Technicolor dream coat, sold by his brothers into slavery for 5 shekels.
Once you start to compare between Joe Biden and Joseph from the biblical story, you can see tons of things that communicate between those. Okay. First of all, the whole arrogant approach. Okay, he came to his brothers and said to him that they should bow down to him, that he's the smartest one, whatever. And so this whole arrogant approach that Joe Biden had. Joseph went down to Egypt and he became a solver of dreams. Okay, he became an interpreter
of dreams. Yeah,
interpreter of dreams. And Joe Biden, he fell asleep all the time, right? He's like, like delusional and all of that. Also, and as you can see over here, Biden came over to Rehovot and he fell down, while Joseph, he fell down to the pit by his brothers. Okay, he fell down to the pit by his brothers. So you can see that the whole story of Joe Biden, and also the feeling that in Israel we say "Eved ki imloch," a slave will be a king. Okay, a slave will be a king, meaning that the whole way of both Joseph from the Bible and Joe, it was it looks like unnatural way to get into the position that they are. So all kinds of those comparisons between those two figures brings you to the conclusion that the whole story that Biden came to Rehovot was actually a mocking story on the biblical story, meaning that
it was Rehovot Beach. It was Rehovot Beach in
doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't
Miami
matter.
Or wherever. Oh no! It was in Delaware. It was Rehovot Beach in Delaware.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So the biblical story, okay, it talks about Isaac getting to Rehovot and finds a well of living water over there. The story of Joseph, like if the story was ever existed in the Bible, getting into Rehovot, and then happens over there, this foolish things happen that can happen to Joseph. He falls down, okay? Now, this whole thing is a mocking story, okay, on the story that I just told you of Isaac's well. Okay, now if you don't see it, if you're just thinking that Nir over here is just stupid conspiracies and delusionists and whatever.
I see the
You can
echoes
think
of
about
it.
I see the connection right.
It's
straight
echoed. What's happening is it's being echoed in
Yeah.
the events are being echoed. Can I give you my theory, right, about
Sure.
all
Go
of
ahead.
it?
Sure. Yeah.
All that does is it just kind of reaffirms my perception that everything that's happening, like anything on the TV, anything that we're being force fed, like the politicians, the actors, they're all actors. Basically, they are all actors, and they're
These are
right
basic assumptions.
in their hearts. In their hearts, we all sit here and we say they're evil and they're soulless and they're this and they're that. What if just for a thought game, what if they really are actors and the roles that they're playing are necessary to trigger us into waking up and realizing that it's all bullshit, and all we need to worry about is what's going on right here and what's going on right now. That's all we need to worry about. And the fact that we're all in it together, we're all equal, we can help each other. We can all help each other. We don't, and in different ways. Like we can help in so many different ways. Just sitting there and listening to somebody talk. Sometimes, just sitting there and listen. Let somebody get something off their chest without any judgment for it, or let somebody get something off their chest. And if really that you can see that they're stuck in a paradigm, or they're stuck in a thought set about it, you can show them. Maybe look at it. Just look at it from this direction for a second, and maybe you see why that's happened. If you step away from it, step back from it, and look down and say, right, I can see why that's happened now. Like that person's been like that because really, let's look at, we're all connected. At the end of the day, we're all connected, and our stories are all connected, and we're all experiencing the same things at different stages, at different rates, at different, but we're all going through it. And if we can just trust
Rich,
each other, yeah.
Yes, Rich, I'm sorry to say, but I think that I will be the disconnected one this time. I think I need to let myself go to other things.
You gotta go, mate. No worries, bro. We've been going for 4 hours.
Sorry, but it's been a really, really good pleasure with those good people over here, and thank you very much, and bless you all, and I'll be back.
Much love, dude. Much love.
This is
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Peace. So, guys, we've been going for 4 hours and 8 minutes. 4:08 state. Shout out to Czech Republic. Czech Republic watching, apparently. So massive shout out to the Czech Republic. I'd just like to say, probably one of the most beautiful girls I've ever been physically intimate with was from the Czech Republic. She was just something else, man. But yeah. No, that's my only experience really of the Czech Republic. It's an awesome place.
A good experience.
Oh, fun, amazing. And the things I've heard about Prague, I've often thought about moving there, but it's just it gets too cold. It gets too cold, really. I can't, sorry. It's too cold, man. This here where I am.
Come on.
What's that? Say that again.
I said you don't have those Viking bones? Come on.
I've got too much metal work in those Viking bones. I've got too much metal work, and it goes through me.